All right, I think we can start now. We have more people on the call. Hello, everyone. My name is Blessing Ojubeli, project manager here at Secure Intelligence Limited. I'd like to welcome everyone to our webinar today on AWS Systems Manager. We're so excited to have you join us today. It's going to be an amazing learning experience for all of us. Before we go further, it's important we do some housekeeping rules, especially to those who are joining us for the first time and those who are not familiar with Zoho. This session is being recorded and will be uploaded on our social media platforms. We want you to be able to go over this session as many times as you please. Attendees can raise their hands or react during the presentations. Other engagement required from the attendees is at the discretion of the presenter. If you have a question, kindly use the Q&A or comment section and we'll attend to them at the end. We hope this session is going to be an interactive one. We want to see your comments. We'd love to hear from you. We want to see your reactions. So please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A section. If you look below your screen, you see a question mark icon. So you can drop your questions there. And you also see an emoji icon. So we want to see your reactions. Show that you're excited to learn and to hear from us. Before we get into the business of today, we'd like to introduce ourselves to you, especially to those who are joining us for the first time. It's important that you are acquainted with us. As your host, we want you to know who we are and what we do. So SEAL teams are solution builders. We build modern digital products using experienced, highly skilled and affordable product development teams. We exist to help innovators build digital products using guaranteed engagement models. Now we're going to get right into the agenda for today. So today we're looking at the challenge. So we have identified a problem and we're looking for ways to solve this problem. So after looking at the challenge, we will look at the solution, which is the solutions we have outlined in this entire program. So we're also going to be looking at the patch management, which is part of the AWS Systems Manager. And we'll look at architecture and demo. So today we're not just here to tell you what Systems Manager is about or how to automate patch management. We're here to also show you how to use it. To continue with the rest of the program, I'll be bringing in John Toriola. John is our distinguished cloud engineer here at Secure Intelligence Limited, and he'll be taking us through what to expect for the rest of the program. John. Your mic is muted. I don't think we can hear you clearly.
Hello, John. We still cannot hear you. Probably you should remove your earpiece or anything if you are plugged. That could be. Okay. We still cannot hear you, John. We can't. We can't hear you. Do you want to probably go out and join again? Just a minute. I apologize for the slight network issues and sound issues.
All right, whilst we wait for John to sort out his network, we'll go over the housekeeping rules again because I think we have more people who have joined us. So it's important they know what to expect for the program. This session is being recorded and will be uploaded on our social media platforms. Attendees can raise hands or react during the presentations. So please, we want to see your reactions. We want to see your comments. Drop them in the Q&A or comment session, and we promise to attend to them at the end. And
Hello.
generally, this session is going to be an interactive one. So please pay attention so you can ask questions. So you can have questions to ask at the end. I think John is back, so he's going to take us through the rest of the program.
Okay. Can everyone hear me now?
Yeah, loud
Yes.
and clear, bro.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you, Blessing. Thanks. I'm very sorry, everyone, for the short network issue. Now, okay, I was actually explaining that there's an issue, a challenge that organizations face at the moment, and that challenge is the challenge of managing servers. Like at the moment, there are about probably 50% of workloads still on premise. Like they are still being operated by companies by themselves. Now, the issue is the trend is that now these servers that are on-prem are actually moving to the cloud. But there's a consensus. I think there's this level ground. Like most companies are actually settling for hybrid cloud. You get. So now what the issue actually what that actually causes is that now your systems administrator will have to be quite versatile in their knowledge of the web, the cloud, and systems tools. Now, so now you are trying to manage as a big organization, you are trying to manage thousands of servers. Sometimes, let's say from hundreds to thousands, and most of these servers, some are on-prem, some are on the cloud, some are probably in different regions, and some of these servers also operate different OS. Like, and you are trying to get the best management at the same time with the best optimal security. So this challenge is actually quite daring, and you need a way to be able to solve it in a seamless way. Now, most companies actually go for probably a way to solve it by employing more systems administrator. Now, that works, but that's not scalable. Because okay, let's assume you are just opening up a site in, let's say, Ireland. Now that means you have to get a system administrator in Ireland that will help you manage the on-prem servers. Now that works, but when scale comes in, it becomes it's not a very good idea. It's not scalable. Now, what are we proposing? Is there a better way to do this than instead of trying to manage servers with increasing systems administrator and the likes? No, there's a better way. There's actually a better way of doing this. Now, let me quickly introduce you to an AWS service called AWS Systems Manager. Now, that's what we want to talk about for today. Now, Systems Manager does quite a lot of things. It's one of the most robust service AWS has to offer. Can everyone still hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. That means you're good. Now AWS Systems Manager. I said earlier that Systems Manager does a whole lot of things. And another thing we take into cognizance here at Secure is we are very, very careful of the security of your workload. So your server, we want them secured. Now, Systems Manager does a lot of things. One of which is they are all listed down there. Now, one of which is Session Manager. What is Session Manager? Session Manager is a way to securely access your servers without using keepers. Like, as probably you're a developer in your organization and you want to SSH into your servers. One of the things that is required is keeper. Now, Session Manager does that without the need of keeper. Now, another service that is quite good that Systems Manager has also is Patch Manager. Now, we'll get back to Patch Manager, but let me quickly talk about Parameter Store. Now, you have Parameter Store is a way to store your parameters, like secret parameters, things like your database credentials, your company secrets, like things like that. You want to store them on the web, you can use Parameter Store. One other very good thing Systems Manager has, one service it has also is Run Command. You can remotely run commands on your servers from anywhere at any time. So now those are just a few, like I just mentioned, if you are elaborated on them a bit. Now there are several other things System Manager does. Now, but for today, what we want to actually discuss about, like the service that Systems Manager offers, I want to actually talk more about is Patch Manager. Now, patch manager is a way, like the challenge we laid down earlier. You have servers in probably different cloud providers. With different cloud providers, you have servers on AWS, you have servers on-prem, you have some on GCP and the likes. But you are looking for a way to seamlessly manage these servers. Manage in the sense that you want to be able to update those servers and be able to get feedback on a dashboard. This is why I said, like, the other approach of bringing in new administrator is not scalable. This is quite scalable because you can go as much as thousands of servers, and you will be managing all the servers from a single dashboard. Now, you agree with me? That's actually quite beautiful. Now, to elaborate more on this and give us a demo on this, on how patch manager work, I'll bring in my friend and a colleague, Kozim Adeni, and he will take us through the whole demo, and just listen, and you really enjoy the whole thing. Kozim, you can come in.
All right. Thank you very much, John and Blessing, for the introduction. I'm very grateful. You can call John JT, for short. Like Blessing said, our distinguished colleague. Caleb, can you please go to the back before? Can you go one step? Okay, good. So John has almost said it all, but what we are here to talk about is patch management. Now, Systems Manager does a whole lot of things, like he said, and we can see that you can manage multiple servers in multiple locations from just one central dashboard. And that is what we are trying to preach here. But why patch management? Patch management talks about, deals with the fact that when there's going to be a data breach, one of the high causes of that is usually due to the fact that the OS or your applications are not being patched early enough. So it makes your application or your OS to be vulnerable to attacks. So due to this fact now, you might see a data breach that you're not supposed to be seeing. So for this patch management, like he said, I'm going to be showing you a demo, but I'd like to run through the steps. So one of the first things you do is you scan for the vulnerability, right? So after scanning for your vulnerability, you classify them. You also prioritize in a level that you are talking about how critical they are to your business workloads. So now, prioritizing is one aspect that I don't want to really dwell on now. And also, we'll be talking about how to now patch that. So what we want to do is, I'm going to show you the demo so that you can understand this a bit more. I'm going to start by, Caleb will stop sharing his own screen while I start sharing mine now. So Blessing, please let me know when you can see my screen. Okay. Okay. Coming. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Okay, yes, I can see your screen now.
What I see now?
Console home.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. So the very first thing I'm going to show you here is to go to Systems Manager. Let me click on it from here. Okay. So for you to be able to manage any instance at all, you need to have your SSM agent installed on these servers. So once you have that installed, you can go to Fleet Manager here. So every server that you have, that you installed the SSM agent on it, you'll be able to see them here, right here. So in this, you can see it's saying manage nodes. So nodes represents a server. Now, here we have multiple servers, as you can see, that we are managing from here. We have Linux, we have Windows, and other ones, and the likes like that. So seeing this now, you are managing servers from GCP, from Azure, just from this one dashboard. But I'd like to show you how to do that right now. So the very first thing we want to do is go to our run command. Okay, so run command allows you to specify the action that it should take when you want to patch. So it's going to utilize a document, and that document is like the automation document. Run command is the one giving it the power to run that document. So we could just pick apply patch baseline. That means we want to just, so a baseline are like set of rules that you already defined. So those rules are like, okay, saying, do you want critical updates? What time do you want this thing to work and stuff like that? So we just click on this patch baseline. So you have predefined rules and you can also have custom baselines. So we're going with this predefined one for now because we don't want to waste much of your time. So I'm going to also show you. So it's asking what kind of operations. So we could click scan. So it specify instance tags manually or resource groups. So now when we create our instances, one thing we do is to attach them to a tag. So you can attach it to a patch group. Now, the reason for doing this is simple. You want to group them, like we have said in the previous slide that I showed you. You want to group them into you want to group them into one whereby you can know the particular use cases. For instance, you want to group Windows servers differently. You want to group Linux servers differently. You want to group CentOS servers differently. So you do this when you're creating your instance, you make sure that you already have the patch group and the tags associated with it. So the very first thing you do here now is we specify this patch group. So this patch group is case sensitive. If I put the lowercase for the G, it's not going to work. So I'm going to click on Windows servers now. So I'm going to add that. Okay. So if you want to put in your comments, rate control, if you want what you are just doing to go to like a central S3 bucket that you've deployed, a CloudWatch alarm. You can also trigger it using a CloudWatch event rule, and you can also automate it using the Lambda function. So, sorry, I'll like take this off now. Okay, so I'll click on run. Okay, so you can already see that this is in progress. So all the servers that are currently grouped with Windows servers are going to be scanned. We only clicked on scanning now. We didn't tell it to probably install the patches. So I like to reload my screen. So you can see it means we have, we said 25 targets. So it means we have like 25 instances currently that are Windows and that have been attached or associated with the patch group called Windows servers. So you can see some of these ones are already successful. So I'm going to click on it just so we check, saying that we do not have any error. Now, the other thing we can also check here is how compliant they are, like what you've installed so far. So you can see we have 91 compliant resources. We have 26 that has been patched, and you have 2 non-compliant ones. So if you have issues like this, definitely you can check with this now. You already know the ones that are not compliant, and you can install what is missing there, if you get what I'm saying. So this is like a brief overview of everything. Now, imagine you now have, you're managing from one central account. We have an administrator account that we're currently using. What if you deploy in multiple, maybe AWS accounts, and you have other ones there as well? Now, that is where Athena comes in, whereby it allows you to query multiple accounts. Now, the Athena, the way it works is this. We have a glue catalog that would have cataloged most of our metadata from our S3 buckets. So each time we run like a command, it goes into the S3 bucket that we created. I'm going to show you the architecture after this demo. So it goes into there, then the glue catalogs it and creates a table that comes into this Athena here. So you can use your SQL to now query. So if you check this, you have different tables here. And if I run this now to see maybe the non-compliant servers, so you see that I have multiple ones here now because I have some servers that are also in another account. So you can have a general overview here from Athena, and also you can visualize this using you can visualize it on AWS as well. So you could also check the ones that have probably the SSM agent installed. You'll see that also running beneath here, and you see the version. You can check the name, the ID. You can check the account. So if you have been in other accounts, so the accounts will also come up here. So I think with these few points of mine, I'd like to take questions now and stop sharing my screen. If Caleb can share the material again so that we can go into the architecture, then I'll hand over the baton to Blessing. All right, Caleb. Thank you. Can you please scroll to, okay. Yeah, just go to the architecture. Yeah, keep going. All right, cool. So this is what we have deployed. We have used this. We have, you don't have to think about this too much, basically, just trying to show us that we have the left side is the account, the administrative account that we use to deploy into different target accounts. So you need like an automation role and an automation execution role and an administrative role. So the administrative role calls the automation execution role, and you have anything you do in those accounts come to the data sync bucket, and everything from that goes straight to the Amazon central bucket. So you can manage your on-prem servers from here, as you can see beneath. You can also manage multi-clouds from just one AWS account. So thank you very much. I'd like to hand over to Blessing. If you have questions, I'd like to take them now before we give you the takeaways. Over to you, Blessing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kazim. That was an insightful session. And I cannot wait to start freely utilizing the AWS Systems Manager and automating patch management. I've learned a few things today, and I know we have other people on the call who have learned a few things, and I cannot wait to start practicing. So like Kazim said, now is the time for us to take questions. So if you have questions, kindly drop them in the Q&A section. Just look below your screen. You see a question mark emoji. So once you tap on it, you can type in your questions. But before we go over the questions, I'd like to see your reactions and at least show some excitement if you are happy that you've learned something today, at least to cheer up our leaders, our speakers rather. To cheer up our speakers. So just, react, say something, do something, just so we're sure that you're here with us. Thank you so much. So I'm still waiting for your questions. Please go to the Q&A and drop a question, a contribution, and I'll just go over them.
Okey-dokey. So as you can see on this current slide, we have takeaways for you. The starter pack here allows you to, there's a link here that you can use to deploy all the resources that we have done here. It gives you the full explanation. It's a repo from AWS. It gives you a full explanation on how to deploy all these resources. You also have our website. You can visit our website to see or know more about us. We also have Seal Academy for you guys, for people that want to learn. We currently have an internship going on now, where we teach people or train students on how to have all these specialized skills. Okay, Blessing, I think there's a question. You might want to read that.
Great, thank you. So I'll be directing this question at Cousin. What's the level of expertise required to operate the service?
Okay, thank you very much, Blessing. Systems Manager is not maybe for just any kind of person. There's a level, let me just say intermediate level of expertise. But when it comes to managing multiple servers, you need someone that is very good and very, very skilled. Do you understand? So I would say that you don't want to give just any kind of person. You don't want to make a systems administrator that doesn't really know much about it to do that. So if you are looking for expertise, definitely you need AWS partners like us that can, do this for you seamlessly. All right. So
All right,
I hope that
thank you.
answers your question, Adejumo. Okay.
I would like to see your comments, Adejomo. If you answered your question, you can just respond. Still in the Q&A.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We still have room to take more questions, so you can drop your questions and we'll have them answered. Still reiterating on what Kazim has said, you can get in touch with us by visiting the secureintel.com website. We'd love to hear from you. Like he stated already, we currently have learning programs for you. So we have programs where you can come learn more about things like this. Again, we'd love to hear from you. So make sure you get in touch. Make sure you visit our website and you see what we have going on there. All right. Since we do not have more questions, I'm going to bring today's session to a close. Thank you so much for joining today. We hope to see you next time we have an AWS Systems Manager webinar. Thank you very much.